आज ही डाउटनट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
The question here says, in a party of New Year's Eve, if men shook hands among themselves, which means men shook men's hands, there would be 21 handshakes in all. However, if men shook hands with the women, which means one of the participants in the handshaking was man, and the other was a woman, then there would be 35 handshakes. How many handshakes would have happened if the women shook hands among themselves, right? Now the clarification I gave during the question was important. I'll explain why. So it says that if men shook hands among themselves, there would be 21 handshakes. Now let us assume M to be the number of men at the party, right? And then similarly we'll have W to represent number of women at the party, right? Now if men shook hands among themselves, how many handshakes would there have been? If we just go off of this variable here, what it means is we need to find out a combination of two men, right? We need to find out the number of combinations of two men at a time, right? And that will give us the number of handshakes, since nobody would shake hands with one another again. And if suppose person A and person B already shook hands, then person B and person A shaking hands again is the same thing, right? So we need to find out the number of combinations and not permutations, right? So the number of combinations, the total here is M, and we need to select from that M just two people at a time. So therefore the term we need to find out is MC2, which is number of combinations of two people at a time out of a total of M. So the formula for this is M factorial, 2 factorial, and M minus 2 factorial, right? So I can open M factorial as M minus 1, M minus 2, M minus 3, and so on. This denominator I'll keep it as it is, or M minus 2 factorial also I can open up, so it becomes M minus 2, M minus 3, and so on, like both are decreasing. So what you see here is these two terms cancel out, they're the same. So what we're left here is M minus 1 and 2 factorial, which is 2, right? So this is MC2, or the number of handshakes that men had, right? Or we can write men with men, right? So let H define the number of handshakes. So when both the participants of the handshake were men, then the number of handshakes was M minus 1 by 2. Next, it says that if men shook hands with the women, there would be 35 handshakes, which means we need to find out H of M and W, which means one participant was a man and the other was a woman, right? So again we have this scenario, but here what we need to find out is, here we have on the left, let's say we have M options, right? They can be M, there are M men, so we can choose any one of them. And on the right hand side we have W options, right? Now the order does not matter, which means W on the left and M on the right is the same as this combination here. That's why we are taking just one. So the total number of options here is M on the left times W on the right, right? So the total number of options here is M times W, which means H of M comma W, number of handshakes, is MW, right? Finally, what we need to find out, how many handshakes would have happened if the women shook hands among themselves. Now first of all, these two values we found out, and we're also given their values in the question. So this here is 21 and this here is 35. We'll work on the first one. So M minus 1 times by 2 equals 21, which means taking this 2 to the other side and opening this bracket, so M square minus M equals 42, which means M square minus M minus 42 equals 0, right? Now I can use splitting the middle term, so I'll have M square minus 7m plus 6m minus 42 equals 0. So I have m times m minus 7 plus 6 times m minus 7 means m minus 7 times m plus 6 equals 0, or m equals either 7 or minus 6. Now m represents the number of men at the party, which can't be negative. Therefore m equals 7, the only positive solution of the quadratic equation we got. Now m equals 7, we can use that here to find out the number of women. So m times w equals 35. M is 7, which means 7 times w equals 35, which means w equals 5. Right? Now what we need to find out is h of w and w, right, when women shook hands, right? So the formula will be the same as the men. It is the same format, just this number, instead of being the number of men, will be the number of women. So we have wc2, which is w minus 1 by 2. Now w's value we already know, it is 5. So we have 5 times 5 minus 1, which is 4 by 2, which means 5 into 2 or 10. Right? Therefore number of handshakes that would have happened if women shook hands among themselves will be 10, which is what is required in the question. Therefore, checking the options, we see option C is correct.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।